Hi guys, welcome back to Gigi and the Teddies, where we learn about ascension. Let's get started. Good morning, Gigi.
Well, thank you, Teddy. I hope you had a great weekend. It's Tuesday here, and we're ready for another week. We're having company today later, so that'll be exciting. I hope you all had a great weekend. And we left off talking about just food for thought and different aspects of possibilities that could lead to things that you'll work through or go through during the ascension. Now, we're going to start today to talk a little bit about what we've been referring to, and that is the mind. The mind works into all the other things that we've been talking about. When we've been talking about positive and negatives, and we've been talking about influences of other stimuli outside of us. In other words, if somebody else is angry with us, how does that make us feel? Our emotions, and how do our emotions affect us during the ascension period? I'm not sure exactly how many videos this will take, because I really want to make it as clear as possible for everybody. And if you have any questions, I do encourage you to leave them so that we can refer back to them for you and help you. Now, when we think about the mind, we think about it as a part of us, actually. And so many people will say, well, I can't help it, that's just the way I am. And that's a normal response, isn't it? For anything that we have difficulty with, that's a pretty normal response. I just can't help it, that's how I am. Maybe we weren't aware or made aware that it doesn't have to be that way. Maybe we weren't made aware that we have the ability to change those things about us, especially if it's something that leaves us really uncomfortable. You might say, well, geez, Gigi, that doesn't sound easy, and it's not. It's not easy. But it's just like anything else that you do in life that you learn. You do it one step at a time. And once you get the knack of it, I'm going to say that, the knack of it, a way that works for you, and you apply it to each time something occurs emotionally for you that leaves you uncomfortable, then things become a little bit easier. It's just to find the method that works for you. We all learn in different ways. Some people can sit down and read a book and they learn. Other people have to watch somebody. And in a lot of jobs, they call that shadowing someone, and they learn that way. And then there are people that learn hands-on. I myself, I like to take material home and read it so that I can read out loud, for one thing. That helps me to retain. And not only that, but I can sit and at my own pace and maybe sometimes have to reread something over for it to stick. Everybody's different. And it doesn't make any way wrong or right. It simply makes us different. And that's okay. So let's start to look into the mind. What is it? What is the mind? Now, some will look at the mind and the brain as being one. But is it? What is the function of the brain? When you're first born and you have the brain, isn't it what tells the body to breathe? Isn't it what has the heartbeat? Isn't it what keeps the blood flowing? Isn't it what makes us breathe? These are all functions that are registered through the brain. And it isn't like we have to think about it, because we're certainly not born going, okay, take a deep breath in, take a breath out. Okay, cry now. I'm hungry, cry. Those are all things we're born with. Those are instincts that we are born with. But when you think about it, do they have anything to do with the mind? So what is the mind? As I went through the ascension process, it kind of amazed me to think about this. Because I thought, we are kind of conditioned to feel that whatever comes into our mind is something that we've produced ourselves. But is it? Where does it come from? Where do some of the thoughts come from? And you think, oh, what made me think of that? Could there be some form of energy that kind of slides in there and makes us think something that out of the blue we'd have no idea where it came from? What about all the thoughts in our mind? What about, a lot of times it's said that we learn, and we do. Our mind holds a record of everything that we've learned, correct? So therefore, the mind is only what we've input into it. If we haven't been taught something, if we haven't observed something, if we haven't felt something, if we weren't taught something in a certain manner, and I'll use the example of the word casa. Now, in the Spanish language, the word casa means home. In America, home means home. The word casa means home. And in America, the word home means home. So therefore, if we were in America and learned the word casa was home, then that's what it would be for us. So isn't the mind only retaining and holding information that's been fed into it? And if that's the case, wouldn't we have the ability to alter the thoughts in the mind if we so choose? I read an article that gave quite a good description of it. And the coin has two sides. But if you lay the coin down on the table, you can only see the side that's facing up. But therefore, it doesn't eliminate the side that's not facing you. So in other words, let's say one side of the coin says positive and the other side of the coin says negative. And let's say that the negative side is facing up. It's all we see. Does that mean the positive doesn't exist because we don't see it or we don't look for it? Or are there incidences where we've never looked to see the positive in something that was negative? What we're going to work on is you having that ability. To slow down and take a look at any given situation and learn how to possibly, in 99.9% of the time, turn that negative into something positive. All by thought. To take negative emotions and take the power of negativity out of the emotion. It sounds like it's scary. It sounds spooky. It's not. It's not. It's not easy at first. Because you got to catch that emotion. Emotions are a learned behavior. Are they not? The only time a baby cries is when it has a need. But each time it cries, the mother has a certain ritual, she'll check it, make sure it doesn't need to be changed, or make sure it's comfortable, or maybe it's hungry. And usually one of those things, if not anything else, having a bottle of food eases that. So right off the bat, we learn that if there is discomfort, there's something going on inside of us that needs to be nurtured, taken care of. So if something makes you feel uncomfortable, then maybe that is presented to you so that you can look at it and ask yourself why it makes you uncomfortable. And if you can take the time to look deep inside and find out why it makes you uncomfortable, maybe you could eliminate it. And once you've eliminated it, it's gone for good. Because once you see the truth about a situation or an emotion, it no longer can be just a negative. Because regardless what we learn from the truth, it's usually going to turn us on a path of positive. Because it takes away the mystery of all that's hidden. Things that we don't slow down and take the time to learn. Now, as we go on with some of the videos, I'm going to give you examples that we've gone through, that we've learned. Because I want you to see how emotions, let's take anxiety, look at that. That affects so many people today. And it really does interrupt the path of life for them. And yet they're convinced they can't change it. And they actually can. And there is a process to it. And it's getting rid of those filters. It's getting rid of those blocks. What is in the way? What makes you feel that this emotion, which is all it is, has such control over you? Sometimes we can feel emotion and then we have no reason for it, so we start looking for a reason, because we can't possibly have an emotion without a reason. Or can we? These are some of the things that I like to go over with you and ask and see if I can help you to understand a little bit how this all works, so that you can find out how to move ahead in your choice of ascension. We're almost at 13 minutes, so I'm going to say, I hope if you have any questions, you feel free to leave them with us. But I'm going to bless you now. I forgot to introduce you to the twins. They'll be with us, sitting with us while we talk about the mind. They sit kind of quiet. So I bless you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God bless you. And namaste.
May you be blessed till we meet again. Namaste.